Once you have decided to move and live in Malaysia, then one of the most important things you need to figure out is where are you going to live? In this video, we are going to focus on renting a place in Malaysia.
We will give examples of various types of properties that are available, such as in the modern buzzing city Kuala Lumpur, the popular island Penang, or the cities nearby tropical rainforests and stunning beaches on Borneo. So make sure you watch till the very end to see if this beautiful and diverse country has housing that you can picture yourself calling home.
Hi and welcome back to one of our videos on Malaysia. We really appreciate you checking out our newest video today. If you're new here and haven't seen our previous videos on the cost of living and which visa you can get from Malaysia, then check out the links in the description box below.
So in today's video, we are going to explore what Malaysia has to offer when it comes to renting a place. We specifically chose to focus on rentals only because from our own experience of living abroad, we believe it is better to live in a country and to rent a place first, so you can get familiar with the housing situation before actually buying a place.
Like everywhere in the world, rental prices depend on the location and type of housing. Initially, we thought Kuala Lumpur, must be one of the most expensive places to live, considering it's a modern capital city, making it, of course, attractive to live. But if you look hard enough, you can find cheap places too, when it comes to renting.
At the end, everybody has their own budget when it comes to renting a place, of course. And the great thing is that Malaysia offers housing for anybody. Whether you are looking for an affordable, spacious place in Kuala Lumpur or a luxurious, beautiful furnished condominium with sea view in Kota Kinabalu, it is there.
Yeah, so the most important is to first determine how much you want to budget for rent. Then, it's good to know exactly what you expect when moving to Malaysia. Each city has its own characteristics and offer a different lifestyle. From there on, you focus on the areas that offer what you find important. For instance, do you want to be close by shops, restaurants, or being nearby the school your child will be going to? Once you have determined this, then you have more focus when doing your research.
In our case, we don't necessarily want to live in the city center. We would love to have a house, preferably with a garden, in the green suburbs, since we will be working from home most of the days. If you want to know more about earning an extra income through an online business, enabling you to, for instance, travel more or live wherever you like, then have a look in our description where a link will take you to the details.
For our search, we have used the two popular housing platforms, iProperty and Property Guru. They usually have the same listing, so it doesn't really matter which one you use. However, if you want to use a map, then you can better use Property Guru.
So in this video, we're going to start off with examples of Kuala Lumpur, the capital city of Malaysia, and not surprisingly, very popular place to live for expats. It's a modern city with great infrastructure and facilities, and you'll always have great access to restaurants, shops, and beautiful parks.
Yeah, finding a cheap and really proper place to live in Kuala Lumpur isn't easy. Unlike many digital nomads, having found a place for just $500 or less a month. Often these places are listed on Airbnb. But you have to look closer. These city center condominiums are beautifully furnished and offer great facilities, such as a gym, but they are tiny. And we believe that these are not meant for long-term living, especially as a family. Of course, it's a good starting point if you just moved to Malaysia and you still need to figure out where you actually want to live. Plus, with Airbnb, you avoid the hassle of dealing with agents. You can arrange the accommodation yourself and do the viewings on the website. But if you are finding a place to really settle for long term, then like in our case, as a family of 3, you don't want to be living in a 500 square foot apartment with tiny rooms and a kitchen with minimal facilities. In our examples, we will be focusing on minimal 2 bedrooms and at least 1,000 square feet housing.
So on the iProperty website, we selected a couple of areas in Kuala Lumpur, such as city center, We also added Bukit Bintang and Bangsar, which are lively areas surrounded by everything you need. Ampang is one of the few upmarket areas and is a well-established area where you can find a lot of embassies. And other nice areas to live nearby Kuala Lumpur city centre are Mount Kiara, Taman Tun Dr. Ismail, with the connecting areas Mutiara Damansara and Damansara Perdana. As you can see, that there are many condominiums and service residents available. So what are these and what are the differences? Well, first of all, a serviced residence can be seen as a long stay hotel which is fully furnished, has regular housekeeping and have shops nearby. It is similar to a condominium as it also offers additional facilities such as a pool and gym. However, a condominium is registered as a private residential area with different people owning their own unit, while a serviced residence is built on land registered for commercial use. Often there is one owner owning the entire building. Since service residence is aimed at commercial use, they will charge you more for utilities and maintenance and tax and so on, and often these fees are twice as high than a regular condominium. So looking further, what's the difference between a condominium and an apartment? Well, basically they are quite similar. However, condominiums are bigger than an apartment and usually come with plenty of facilities such as a sauna, swimming pool, gym, and so on. An apartment is considered a private residence in a building that is managed by the property manager. It has amenities as well, however less upscale than a condominium. You also might even see flat listings. These are often the smallest options to live and have little to none facilities. While these are often the cheapest, today more owners are upgrading their flats into really nice places to live. So if you are living by yourself and want to keep the rent down, you shouldn't dismiss the idea of searching for a flat in Malaysia. So if you're renting a condominium, apartment or flat, the owner is responsible for the monthly maintenance fee and not you. As you can see, you can get a really good condominium in KL city centre for just 3,800 ringgit with view of the Petronas Towers. It is completely fully furnished, so basically all you need to do is drop your suitcase. The facilities include a swimming pool, 24-hour security and a gym. So let's have a look at another one in Ampang. By the way, the rental periods are usually a minimum of 1 year, preferably 3 years, and you are often required to pay 2 plus 1 rental deposit, which means 2 months rental plus 1 extra month. Other costs are the stamping fee to legalize your tenant agreement and the administration fee. The amount of these fees depends on the monthly rents. So the higher the rent, the higher the fee. So if you'll be renting a 3,000 ringgit house, then expect to pay around 134 ringgit stamping fee and an additional 200 ringgit administration fee. We suggest going for a 1-year rental agreement first. From our experience, you are likely to move again, and we notice that once you are familiar with the city, you will learn which area is nicer, easier to reach during rush hours, and for instance, where the best places are to eat. And with this move in mind, we also suggest to go for fully furnished. So when you do decide to move, you don't have a lot of stuff to move or have to worry if your existing furniture will fit in your new place. So let's have a look at houses and see what is available. So we search in the popular locations of KL again and notice that once you pay rent higher than 7,000, you will find modern looking houses. Like this one in Taman Tun Dr. Ismail, a nice area to live in. Everything is bright and attractive. And it doesn't really matter where you search in Kuala Lumpur. As soon as you head into the 900 ringgit or 12,000 ringgit, you will pay for what you get. There are really nice houses here. And in the same areas you can find older looking houses for half the price. To be honest, we like these type of houses because they are often located in a somewhat older housing complexes which usually have more character. However, most of these type of houses do look worn out and you need to do a lot of extra effort to make it look fresh and welcoming again. We also found a place at Jalan Klang Lama, an area not far from city center as well. And in this area, the housing is much cheaper. For the same price as a condominium in Kuala Lumpur city center, you can get an entire house. Again, it does need some pimping though. To get an idea of the surroundings, we often copy-paste the address in Google and check out on Google Street View or Google Earth how it looks like. And we really like that it seems to be in a dead-end street with private security, and the nearby houses look really nice too.
As you can see, there's a nice selection of housing for rent. So how about the other areas outside the capital city? Are the prices similar, and what type of housing can you find? Popular places for expats besides Kuala Lumpur are Penang, Langkawi, Ipoh, Malacca, Petaling Jaya, which are all located on the Malaysian peninsula. Looking at the Borneo part of Malaysia, you have Kota Kinabalu in Sabah province and Kuching in the Sarawak province. So let's have a look at Penang.
We selected the areas Tanjung Tokong, Tanjung Bunga and Batu Ferringhi, which are all located north of the main city Georgetown. And other popular areas south of Georgetown are Gelugar, Baya Lapes and Gurni. So when you have a look at the availability in Penang, or actually the whole of Malaysia, you will see that there are a lot of condominiums available. There has actually been a surplus when developers started building like crazy and investors kept on buying. So as a result, some of these condominiums are left empty, making it possible to get really nice places for a very reasonable price, as you can see here in Penang. So let's check out this condominium at Gelugar. For a place with full ocean view, this is a pretty nice one for just 3,500 ringgits. 3 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, and the facilities such as a swimming pool. How about further away from the ocean, but in a nice area such as Tanjung Bunga? This is a very luxurious place, beautifully furnished, and has a nice swimming pool in the complex. But in the same area, you can also rent something for less, as you can see here. So again, there is something for everybody. Let's have a look at another area, a condominium with an amazing sea view of Batu Ferringhi Beach. So why is Penang actually a very nice place to live? For many years it has been a popular tourist destination, and in 1980 I even went there on holiday to Batu Ferringhi and visited it many times afterwards. It's a very relaxing place with a lot of nice beaches. Many expats choose to live here for these reasons, but also for its relatively low cost of living. As you can tell, there's enough choice in condominiums in Penang. So how about houses with a garden perhaps? Well, you can find amazing houses with a huge garden for a lot of money a month, as you can see here, but there are others that are nice too. As you can see, in Tanjung Tokong you can get a great house with sea view. Tanjung Tokong used to be a small fishing village, but today it is now an upper-class residential area with a lot of high-rise along the coast. While there has been a huge change over the years in Penang, this island is still not as vibrant as Kuala Lumpur. In Penang, don't for instance expect an exciting nightlife. There's a reason why it is popular among retirees and families. So let's have a last look at Batu Ferringhi, an area mostly known for its big resorts. So perhaps not ideal if you're looking for a quiet beach area away from the tourist crowds. Of course, the interior of this house might not suit you, but again, you need to check it for yourself before starting negotiations. In the past, we often rented fully furnished places, and often the landlord is flexible with removing furniture you really don't want. Let's check Street View as well. Yes, as you can see, these are the areas that we really like living in. Let's see if less popular areas are far cheaper than Kuala Lumpur. For instance, Ipoh, just 2.5-hour drive north from Kuala Lumpur. This time we're going to use the Property Guru website and use the map option. This tool allows you to immediately see the distance from city center. Ipoh city center is divided into the old town and the new town, and it is a very walkable city. Here's a condominium for just 2,300 rupiah a month. It's much cheaper than Kuala Lumpur, and this is one of the main reasons why expats are discovering Ipoh. Also, the city is not as congested as Penang and Kuala Lumpur, and the air quality is much better. Ipoh is also known for its beautiful historical buildings and the nearby nature with lakes, caves, and a nature park. So let's have a quick look at the houses in Ipoh. I narrowed the selection to bungalow houses only to make sure we get one with a nice garden. There are a number of houses nearby city center, but let's have a look just outside city center. This is a very pretty house with a real proper garden. As you can expect, when you choose to live in Ipoh, you will be leading a very calm life. Ipoh is known for its great food, but for instance, the restaurants close early, just as the shops, so you need to be aware of that.
We can't of course forget the eastern part of Malaysia, known for its beautiful tropical rainforest and stunning beaches. While there are expats living in the two East Malaysia states of Sabah and Sarawak, it often is not the number one choice to live. However, this might change since the My Second Home visa for these states are much easier to get than at the peninsula of Malaysia. So you might want to keep that in mind if you want to live long term in Malaysia. Let's have a quick look at the housing in Kuching and Kota Kinabalu.
So in Kuching, we searched for 3 bedrooms with a minimum of 1,000 square feet because we found out that there is a larger selection if you would search for 2 bedrooms. Again, there is a large variety in prices here too. Let's have a look at this one. It isn't along the riverfront where most of the action is. Along the riverfront in Kuching, you can find most of the historical buildings, restaurants, hotels, and shops. But don't expect to find a lot of nightlife here though. There isn't much information about the facility, so let's check out Google Images and see what we can get. Yes, there is a pool available here as well, so that is really nice. Let's have a quick look at a bungalow with a garden and see what we can find. There doesn't seem to be much choice when it comes to houses. This one is the nearest to the city, but it does need some work to make it more comfortable to live. The great thing about living in Kuching is that it is the second cleanest city after Singapore in Southeast Asia, and there isn't as much traffic. And with AirAsia, you'll have easy access to nearby countries, so definitely a city to consider when moving to Malaysia. The last city we're going to briefly check is Kota Kinabalu in Sabah. This is a place if you want to have easy access to nature and stunning beaches, and there's a pretty nice selection of housing here. There are a couple with sea view. Let's compare 2 condominiums. This one is for 5,500 ringgit a month. Kota Kinabalu is actually a nice combination of city life, yet it still has access to beautiful nature, and it has a very relaxed atmosphere. More people are discovering it, including the digital nomad community, and the trendy cafes there make a great co-working space and the possibility to meet up. So what will you get if you pay a bit more in the same area in Kota Kinabalu? Again, both condos have a swimming pool and a gym. And as you can see, the condos look really nice here. We did a couple of searches for a house and only came up with this one, which is nearby the airport. And we were a bit surprised that there isn't much choice, but maybe development has focused more on skyrise housing and therefore there are more condominiums available. That said, Kota Kinabalu might not be as popular as Penang and Kuala Lumpur. However, if you want to enjoy the local yet diverse atmosphere, but still feel like you are not the only expat there, then Kota Kinabalu is a great option too.
So obviously we just did a quick search of the house rental possibilities in Malaysia. We could have spent hours looking through the listings, but we just wanted to give you an idea of availability of a couple of cities and what you can expect to get for a certain price.
Yeah, and if you are really serious on finding a place, you might want to get an agent to look for you. Give them your wishes as clear as possible so he or she knows what you exactly want. Not only is it more efficient to get an agent, but it will probably avoid difficulties such as negotiation, repair before moving in, and getting your deposit back.
So we have come to the end of this video. Hopefully you thought it was useful. If so, please give us a thumbs up and consider subscribing if you haven't done so. We hope to see you again in one of our next videos. As for now, thank you very much for watching and bye bye.
Bye.